so we started working together. Where were you when we first started working together? What was the situation?
I was at rock bottom, complete rock bottom. I had been out of work for almost 9 months at that point. Previous to the 9 months, I had moved to a new city and for a new job. It was Chicago. I had to quit because of some personal matters that I also had to tend to. COVID was happening, and it was just, especially with COVID, it was just very difficult to get a job. I knew exactly what I wanted. I was getting like the initial interviews. I couldn't get the final round, and it was just interview after interview after interview, and I needed some help. I needed to change my mindset. I needed to change the way I was approaching getting a job, my career, just everywhere, the way I was thinking, the way I was speaking, because I had the technical skills, but Jamie also taught me how to have resources to improve my technical skills in order for the interview, and with the networking and whatnot. So it was great with Jamie.
So why did you one, how did you find out about me? And then two, why did you decide to actually work with me?
So someone close to me in the industry who actually was already working the job I wanted referred me to you, and they had gone to school together, and he just kept saying he's a really sharp guy, super sharp, always knew the answer. Like, he was like gold star. And so I was like, well, if he's saying this and he's got the job I want, then I guess I got to give this guy a call, because what I'm doing ain't working.
Got it. All right. So there was that little bit of trust there already, because you were more or less referred to me.
Oh yeah, completely. And I just blindly went with it a little bit. I didn't really vet you out. I liked the way you spoke on the phone, and you had the credentials and the time that you were saying, just a couple months. And I was like, wow, just a couple months to get the job. Like, that was so close. And it ended up working that way, especially with that huge time gap, because by the time I actually ended up getting the interview, I had been out of work for almost a year at that point.
So what were the biggest concerns that you had at that time? Like, as we started working together, what were some of the concerns that you had, either about your own process or about us working together?
Well, just everything. I needed, first of all, help with my interview skills, how to speak, how to sell myself. I was doubting myself. I was 100% doubting my skills, even though I knew I had a good background. But Jamie was just like, wow, you're so easy. Like, you're going to get a job so easily. And I was like, no, I had the whole huge time gap. Being in a new city, didn't know anybody really in the area that I was trying to work in. Being a female in finance, learning how to communicate that value. That was different. And Jamie just kept saying it pays to be different. It pays to be different. And I agree with that. It really does. And when I went through my final round of my interview, I had the best case study. I was by far the best candidate, and my boss tells me today, all the time, you were the best, you were the best, you were the best. And it's a year ago I wouldn't have been the best, and that's hugely part because of Jamie. So
our working together, how I work with people is very different than how most people work together. So in your own words, how would you describe what it looked like for us to actually work together? What did that process look like if someone were trying to picture that in their head?
Yeah, so initially we go through a mindset packet, and we really do a personal deep dive, what are your career goals? And while you're trying to figure that, Jamie was speaking to me almost maybe at least once a week, maybe 2 times a week, and he was there for long conversations and just speaking, researching, learning about that. And then through that process, we were also fine-tuning my interview skills, the job search process, how to network. I had no idea how to network. I think networking is such a big box term. What does that even mean, networking? He gives you scripts. He practices with you. He teaches you how to speak to people properly in the professional manner that school does not teach you at all. Our normal life did not prepare us at all, in my opinion, of how to actually properly network with strangers in a professional field.
I love how you said with strangers too, because a lot of people, when they think networking, they think only family and friends. So talk a little bit more, because like I preach networking, like that is 80% of success is going to be through networking. So what did your networking process look like, and how did you go about doing it?
I followed Jamie's process 100%. So I don't know if I want to spill the secret sauce, but
You can share whatever you believe would be helpful for other people. I mean,
yeah.
but I think a lot of people don't know what the process even would remotely look like. And it'd also be super helpful for you to be able to share with people, like, how many people, like your networking process, like how big it was.
I was reaching out to 10 strangers on LinkedIn every single day. And Jamie taught me exactly how to reach out to them, exactly what to say, and how often what to say. And, you know, since you are in the field, like, once you break the barrier, you do know how to speak to someone about, like, you do know how to be interesting and, like, speak. It's just that initial, like, how do I break the ice? And then how do I continue this relationship? And Jamie did teach me how to do that. And you know what? I practiced actually the way I speak. Any concerns I had, like little minutia, I could bring up with Jamie, and it was improving. And we practiced. We practiced everything on how to speak, everything, when to speak, you know, formatting emails, all of that stuff. Jamie teaches you, and you never feel uncomfortable learning how to do it. You always feel comfortable, you feel trusted, you feel supported. And you can ask any question you want, and it's like actual true progress, like the way learning should be. It was a true learning process, and like what they're supposed to teach you in school, essentially. And you just did it with Jamie, so it was great. It was personal. I mean, I'm in Chicago, he's in Denver. Like, that was never a problem, and especially COVID, right? I mean, work from home, remote, like the remote, I actually like it. I like the flexibility of it, of the entire process. So Jamie can help you anywhere around the world.
How was and just to give people like a perspective, how many people do you think you reached out to total?
Like 300.
So a lot.
A lot, yeah. I mean, yeah, it was a ton of people, but like Jamie teaches you, I mean, people have lives. Some people don't even, they have a LinkedIn, they don't even check it. Some people might not want to connect. I mean, you do maybe have to reach out multiple times, build up relationships, but people want to network. People do realize that, like, you need to be building relationships and you need to be speaking with people, but it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's a little uncomfortable. It's, you know, it's not something we're used to doing. It's definitely out of your comfort zone, but Jamie makes you feel comfortable and teaches you how to do it. And I got responses like, you know, respect the initiative, like, reach out to me, let's follow up. I really, you know, just really supportive messages every time someone did respond. So, you know,
Awesome.
yeah.
So in terms of the outcome, the result, like you got a pretty awesome result, given that you did have that time gap and all the self-doubt and the concern of how is this going to end up, like, and you don't need to give any specific names or numbers, but knowing your outcome, how would you share with people, you know, what that success looked like for you?
I got my dream job, literally my dream job. It's actually insane how perfect the job is. Numbers wise, like, there was a huge increase. So I got a 67% increase.
I love that. Yeah. 67% increase in, and having that gap where most people
over a year.
And most people will just take anything expecting a reduction.
Second of all, the mentors, like my boss, he's a mentor. He's like someone truly that I can speak with all the time, answers my questions. Everyone is just so supportive and nice. Like at my past jobs, both of them, people, I mean, you know, I did meet some wonderful people, but I did not get the support that I get now. People truly care about the work that I'm producing. They truly care about my well-being as a person. It was like a whole new world. It wasn't like, it's not catty, it's not competitive. And the company I work for actually does care about female initiatives, diversity initiatives. So that was important for me. And they're actually, putting their money where their mouth is. And yeah, no, it's a dream job. I feel so grateful. I feel so blessed, and it 100% is attributed to Jamie.
I loved your outcome. I was so excited for the outcome with you because 1, you got the dream job. 2, you increased your salary or your total comp by 67%. And 3, it was within the industry and the city that you wanted.
Oh yeah, and on top of that, so equity research, it was the exact kind of investing style that like matches my personal philosophy. So that's rare. Like, I think people take jobs like, oh, I got a buy-side job. I don't know how, I don't want to speak for anyone, but there's definitely ways to fudge it to be like, yeah, I'm not this kind of person in the interview. I didn't have to fudge that at all. Like, it was literally me.
So for other people listening, because there's 2 things I really want people to know. The first thing is, so what did you learn that will continue to benefit you going forward, like longer term benefits?
I can do anything. I can literally do anything. I can have anything I want in this world.
What do you mean by that though? In terms of like your career, your life, like how would you communicate that feeling to someone?
Literally everything. You can have anything you want in this world. There are ways, I believe in a process now. And if you want anything, like you say, your mind will work into figuring it out, and you put the hard work or even like medium type work, or sometimes it just comes and like you just act grateful and it happens. It happens. You can literally have anything. On a more specific level, I feel comfortable building relationships with strangers. And I feel comfortable talking to people with comfortable talking with strangers more, because people are everything. People literally are everything. That's so important. It's not all about the technical skills. Sometimes it's just that comfort, that connection that Jamie teaches you how to achieve with someone. And that's what's going to make you further along in your career.
We've got 2 final questions for you. So 1, in our time working together, and like specifically you going through that process of making this happen and getting that successful outcome, what were the most challenging parts and how did you overcome them?
I mean, developing a routine, believing in myself, it was hard. Yeah, I know it wasn't easy, and it was hard to be patient. Like, there's doubt in the process, but then it all of a sudden happens, and you're like, what? Yeah, it's true what he said. It's literally true, because it's a different method that he implements. Like, you really, you do have to build a routine, and you do have to put yourself first. Your health, your mindset, your sleep, your nutrition. Like, putting yourself first when you, especially like during COVID, it seemed, I don't know, it didn't seem like right. I don't want to say not right, but it seemed different from what I was used to. It was challenging to change. I mean, it's always challenging to change, but I mean, you just keep doing it every day, and Jamie keeps up on you, and he never shames you. He pushes you, but like in a respectful manner. You go at your own pace. Because not everyone's going to move forward at the same rate, and moving forward doesn't look the same for everyone either. So he's supportive, he's encouraging, talk about why, and he's, accountable, like keeps you accountable. And that's important, I think. I think that's important when you're trying to change, trying to improve, is to have that sort of sense of accountability, that external accountability, while you were building it for yourself inside. So.
Well, thank you, Shereen.
Yeah.
So the final question for you would be, for other people that are looking to make a change or make a transition in their life or in their career, what would be your biggest advice for them?
Hire you, like
Well, all right. Besides working with me, I mean, from your perspective, like
advice, just like believe in yourself, I suppose. Believe in yourself, and if you need help, like there are sources to get help. You can have anything you want, and like, just believe in it. Just, like, don't doubt. Don't doubt. Doubt is what gets you. And just keep believing. And if you need sources to help you continue to believe.
I love that advice, because I do think that a lot of people, one, they have the self-doubt, but two is they don't reach out for help. They don't work with other people, or they don't even if it's family or friends, like, they don't ask for help. So either way, I think that's a huge piece of advice.
A lot of people don't realize that a lot of people don't actually know anything. Like, you know, like, how do we learn? Experiences, reading, listening. It has to be kind of be us. Like, I don't really believe in, oh, people figure things out. No, I don't think people really figure things out. I mean, to a point they do, but, like, if it's new information, I don't think that they figure it out. Like, they have to, like, receive it. And so, you know what? If, like, you have been listening to someone and it might not be the best advice, like, ask someone else. If you don't like it, ask someone else. If it's not working, just try something new. You do.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time, Shereen. I appreciate you. I loved working with you.
Yeah, I really hope, like, I truly believe in Jamie, and I truly believe in the value that he's adding to people's lives. And I think it's, like, especially if you're young and you're, like, a female and you're, like, trying to, or anyone really, and you're just, like, trying to make it new, trying to be by yourself. Like they say, it's, like, it's all about who you know. Well, then, like, know people. Like, meet people. Like, not, like, just based on your parents' network. Like, just meet anyone.